doing? Hope you guys having a good day, good night. So today we'll do a quick video just to kind of show you some basic Guardian kind of I guess you can say Guardian quick combos you can do while you're grinding. So the first one is pretty quick and easy. It's pretty much one that allows you to get an AP buff up while maintaining DP debuffs and evasion debuffs. There's a few little things you can add in here and there to get extra accuracy and stuff like that. So I'll just go ahead and get started on it, and we can kind of explain it a little bit more after. So this one, you're going to start off by aggroing the mobs. A lot of times in Augment or something, if you guys watch the stream, you'll see me using WF to kind of go and hit mobs and aggro them. The reason being is because it's a pretty quick dash. I can go through a lot of the mobs to aggro them, and as they're coming towards me, after I aggro them like that, once they're coming towards me, I can hold shift left mouse button, and when you hold it, it takes 2.5 seconds charge time, and when you hold it, you can gain a 20 AP buff for 10 seconds if you charge it the whole time. So normally after that, what I do is by the time I charge it, they'll be pretty much right in front of me, and I can use it. It's also a knockdown, so if they get knocked down, that's awesome. Right after that, I follow it up with a spacebar skill because it's okay damage, but the cool thing about it is it gives you a 5% crit damage for 10 seconds buff with okay damage. And I actually have my PVE AP add-on on it, so I also get 20 PVE AP for 8 seconds while I'm doing the skill. Okay, so after I use this, I then would go into Shift F because normally they'll be on the ground, but it's also a huge skill. It's a huge damage skill, and it's also a 20 DP debuff for 10 seconds. So I'll have my AP buff up, my crit damage buff, and then on top of that, I do a big damage AoE with a DP debuff on top of it. After my Shift F, I'll go into my forward right mouse button. The cool thing about your forward right mouse button, it's a 20 AP debuff. But the really cool thing about it is if the mobs are moved around, or if you're not behind them, you can move the camera while you're in your forward right mouse button skill, and it'll allow you to quickly adjust it moves you around pretty easily. So let's say these are the mobs and I want to get a back attack off because they're standing up. I can just quickly move around like that, and it will actually help get a back attack off on some of them. Obviously, if you don't want to, you can just stay right in front of the mobs. But it's a pretty easy, quick thing to kind of maneuver around them, get a back attack off, for those of you guys who like to min-max like that. After that skill, we can go into our second big skill, which is our Shift Q. So our Shift Q is pretty big. It's 741% times 10, but it also has a 15% evasion debuff for 10 seconds. And if you hold the flow, it does the damage of your Shift Q times 4. So it's pretty solid. Right after that, sometimes if my crit damage buff is running out, sometime with my spacebar, I'll use that right after. And then from there, I'll flow into my shift left mouse button, but this time I won't charge it. I'll just quickly use it. And then I'll end with the forward right mouse button again, because that should be off cooldown. Now, once that is all done, the full rotation, if there's still a few mobs left, I will then use two filler skills that I can use that are protected, because normally when you're grinding like Augment and other areas where they can CC you, if you get CC'd, it can potentially like extend your kill time by a lot. And the protected skills, or the filler skills I would use, is down right mouse button. I'll only use the first hit of it because it's a pretty long animation for them. It's pretty slow animation for down left mouse button. It's a pretty long animation for them. So I'll only use the first hit of down left mouse button. And then after the first hit, I'll quickly press shift right mouse button, and it'll actually go into the flow skill for down right mouse button and shift right mouse button, which is protected as well. So you get your super armor from down left mouse button, and then shift right mouse button forward guard, which also has a knockdown, which looks kind of like this. It's pretty good damage overall. For filler skills, I would say that's a pretty high damage filling skills. And after that, a lot of your skills should be up off cooldown. So if you need to quickly finish off some mobs, you can. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate the combo. And then I'll also demonstrate it, post a clip where I demonstrate it in Augment as well. I forward F. I'd let the mobs gather. Shift left mouse button is spacebar. Shift F. Shift Q. Q. Spacebar, forward right mouse button, and then your filler skills. Spacebar. And everything is on cooldown, so you can kind of start to rotate things how you see fit. And it's pretty straightforward. Everything typically comes off cooldown at a perfect time to keep everything up, but if you ever in need, you have your down left mouse button into shift right mouse button for filler skills. Protected, high damage filler skills, and you can keep everything else rotated. Okay, so something else that I didn't mention, and I'm going to go ahead and mention some of these now, is there are a few extra buffs you can proc in between, or you can actually just add in between your skills. For those of you guys who like to min-max, or for those of you guys who want to kind of experiment, her down F gives her down F actually has a buff for 5% down attack damage for 10 seconds. It does, you don't have to increase, you don't have to level it up if you just want that buff. The only issue is the animation is kind of long. And so it uses like the first like few seconds just for the animation. So personally, I don't really use it. I tried it out at Star's End, but I pretty much have to use it like right before the crystal's about to break. Otherwise, by the time they're on the ground, it's kind of like I only have like enough time for 1 or 2 skills and that's it. But for those min-maxers, you guys can probably have your way at it. Another fun skill that you can use to increase your accuracy, if you feel like your accuracy is not high enough, you can use your hatchet throw, and then right mouse button after is a flow that gives you 24% accuracy for 10 seconds. So as you're aggroing the mobs or whatever, as the mobs are starting to come, you can start off with either your shift left mouse button, charge for the 20 AP, and then a quick hatch throw into right mouse button for the accuracy buff, which is real easy to do. And then you can do the rest of your combo. Another way that you can proc your accuracy buff, which I actually just did there, is just a quick neutral jump into right mouse button. It'll quickly do it because the actual flow for the accuracy is 4 seconds long cooldown, while the hatchet throw or the axe throw is a 16-second long cooldown. So if you really want that accuracy, you can keep that up at all times with a neutral buff. And you can even quickly proc that in between packs as well. But yeah, those are essentially the main things you can do. Your sidestep will also give you attack speed buff. So in between your skills, while you're doing your combo rotations, it's real quick just to quickly use your sidestep for extra attack speed. I'll try to do the combo that I normally do, and then I'll show you where I add the sidestep in right now. So here we go. Spacebar, shift F, sidestep, forward right mouse button, shift Q, Q flow, spacebar, sidestep, and then I'll just do down left and just shift right mouse button. I want to sidestep, forward right mouse button, and then everything's on cooldown so you can use as you want from there. But keeping your sidestep up is pretty useful. I have a skill add-on on my shift F for also another 10% attack speed, and they actually stack with each other. As you can see, you'll see if I use both, I have now 2 10% attack speed buffs on my buff bar. So it's pretty cool. It definitely helps with her because she does have long animations, so the attack speed buffs help a lot. So something I didn't mention, which you can add in your rotations if you feel necessary, is your forward Q. Her forward Q doesn't do a crazy amount of damage like I had hoped, but you can use your forward Q into her shift Q flow. But the cool thing is they just recently added her forward Q gives her 15 DP for 10 seconds. So if you feel like you need extra DP, you can use forward Q to get 15 DP for 10 seconds. Okay, so that's basically my PvE rotation. So now I'm just gonna go and talk about a quick little when you're killing mobs that you just quickly kill, and you just want to keep going, keep your forward momentum. It's pretty easy. I'll post a clip in Polyforest, but a lot of the skills that I'll use my axe throw and right mouse button as a starter. Sometimes, mostly sometimes just for, I'll just do my neutral jump into right mouse button just for an extra dash. I'll use my WF to get around, to aggro certain mobs, to get them all around. And I pretty much just use typically the same exact combos that I just showed you with my high end, but I'll kind of spread them around because you can pretty much kill a pack or 2 packs of mobs with just a couple of those skills. For forward right mouse button can kill a single pack of mobs with its AoE pretty easily at, say, Polyforest. For shift F can kill, depending on how wide the range is, you can kill a few packs of mobs if you position yourself properly. Because her AoE, as you can see there, is pretty big. For shift Q, you can position yourself in between 2 packs of mobs with shift Q. And if you hold it and use your shift Q in the Q flow, it actually has high enough AoE to kill 2 packs of mobs potentially as well. Okay, so that was just a quick Guardian video. I will go more into detail in a future video. I just wanted to get this out really quick to help you guys as Guardian is coming out, just to give you a quick little video, and hopefully we can have a better video for with Awakening on the 15th. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks you guys for watching, and peace.